She reported unauthorized dwelling in HOA territory.
Want to see something interesting?
There we go.
This deed predates Crystal Pines by 67 years. He owns the surrounding parcel, including the access road and the water right.
The day I almost lost my family's land was the day I discovered I owned the entire valley. Cheryl Langford called the cops on my illegal cabin at 7 a.m. Police sirens cut through the morning mist. Smoke from my chimney mixing with diesel exhaust. She had no idea that I didn't just own the land. I owned her mortgage, her husband's business lease, and the road she drove in on. 3 months of escalating harassment had built to that morning. It started with noise complaints when I was dead asleep. Structure violations taped to my window for a cabin that was built in 1957, back when the only people on this ridge were loggers and elk. Then came the threatening letters, each one more ridiculous than the last. HOA letterhead, fake fines, a demand for retroactive architectural review of my roof pitch, and the last one, $900 due by the end of the month for unauthorized occupancy. That was the moment I knew it wasn't ignorance. It was war. Cheryl Langford didn't just move into Crystal Pines. She crowned herself queen of it. Bought the biggest house, dyed her poodle pink, got herself elected HOA president on a platform of neighborhood beautification. Then she started looking uphill, at me. Never mind that I'd lived here before the subdivision was even carved out of the trees. Never mind that my cabin's property line doesn't just stretch past their fences. It wraps around all 36 of their lots like a giant horseshoe. They think I'm the intruder. But this valley has my family name on it. When the sheriff showed up that morning, I was already outside, minding my firewood. I waved and offered him coffee. He didn't step out of the cruiser, just sighed, leaned over and said, "She called it in as a code 43, unauthorized dwelling in HOA territory. You know anything about that?" I looked past him. Cheryl was standing at the edge of the gravel, arms crossed, smug as ever. Her little HOA clipboard hugged to her chest like a badge. "Sheriff," I said, "you want to see something interesting?" I walked to the shed, pulled out the deed binder, and flipped to page 1. It wasn't just a deed. It was the full land trust, with her street and her house right in the center of it. The sheriff stepped out then, not because Cheryl told him to, because he saw the paperwork. He took the binder gently, walked it back to his cruiser, and spent the next 5 minutes reading in silence while I stood by the woodpile, splitting kindling like it was any other Saturday. Cheryl must have taken that as some kind of cue. She stomped over in her fleece boots like she owned the forest. "This man is squatting," she snapped. "There's no power, no plumbing. He's cooking over an open fire. This isn't 1840, it's Crystal Pines. I'm filing a Class B violation," and the sheriff held up a hand. "Cheryl, this cabin sits on 146 acres of recorded deeded land. It predates Crystal Pines by 67 years. He owns